You are about to experience the result of hard work and dedication from the City of Champions, Cleveland's own, 90th's finest. Self-made, hard-working entrepreneurs, unequivocally raw, no holds barred. This is Epiphany Media.
Yo.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
My head is translucent. It's crazy. Welcome back to another
You look like a
translucent.
ghost.
I know.
Ghost, for real.
It's one of my favorite hats though, because it the logo is pretty dope, and the orange and brown never hurt nobody, and cover my ears. It's pretty
We'll
pretty
get
good all the way
to
around.
we'll get to what you just said later. You know, the orange and brown never hurt nobody. We'll see at 1
Hilarious.
p.m.
That's funny. So we're gonna do a tight hour for you guys. We got a quick show. Um, you know, we got football coming up. Just a noon show. If you guys are listening to the podcast, we got football in the hour. So jumping on to okay. I thought we wasn't live for a minute. I had to make sure. What's going on, Yolanda E? Early show. Get in and talk about some of the stuff that happened this year that we wasn't able to talk about or get to. If you guys got stuff that happened in pop culture or politics or whatever that we didn't talk about or that you haven't heard us speak about or that y'all want us to touch on, feel free to put it in the comments and we'll try to get to that. We got a couple things on our list, so like I said, all of them. Yeah, we could have almost 4 shows on everything on the list, just about. But we're just gonna kind of hit these, knock them out kind of quick, and like I said, if you guys got anything to add, and for sure, put it in the comments and let us know.
This will be part of the interruption style. You know, we spend a
Yeah,
certain amount of time and we're just moving on.
just keep moving on. Yeah, right when the clock is over, you got like 2 seconds to finish your thought, and that's it. Shout out to PTI, that's pretty cool. So let's get to it. So this is one that you had brought up that I thought we talked about, maybe talked about a little bit, but like the Johnny Depp trial. Now I just remember it being like I remember it being like funny, you know what I'm saying? I remember it being like kind of everywhere, but I don't actually know what the suit was about. Like was it deformation? Was it I don't know. I don't exactly know what it was about. Oh, it was a
Yeah,
defamation trial. I was literally
yeah,
just guessing, but that's exactly what it was. So you know a little bit more about it than me, but
yeah. He won the verdict in the U.S. trial. She won the verdict in the UK. I think it's the UK or something. She won,
hmm.
which is interesting. But um, yeah, like you said, the whole trial was comical. He was he was making jokes the whole time. His lawyers was making her lawyer and her look like fools. Um,
I did see some of those clips. My favorite one was, I guess, when she was on the witness stand and somebody asked this is I probably sent it to you. I sent it to everybody because it's probably my favorite Reddit thing is there was an attempt. So somebody had put like there was an attempt there was an attempt to snort coke while on the witness stand or whatever because she was like just up there like wiping her nose and I'm not saying she did, but it really looked like she took a hit while on the witness stand in the thing with cameras. Um, so I don't know. That was funny to me. But so many funny videos or memes and terms came out of that trial, though.
but here's my question to you and the audience, though. So, in actual court, He was found innocent. You know, all the things that he allegedly did that she exaggerated. They even had footage. You know that she, of him, being drunk. Like you can't be drunk in your house or something. Like I don't get it.
Yeah, what was it? A mega pint, poured a mega pint of wine or something like that. Yeah,
Now he did
I,
pour a lot. I
I
agree.
pour mega pints all the time.
But he was at home. He was at
Right.
home.
That's
You
what
know
I'm
what I'm
saying.
saying?
Yeah.
He broke a glass. He didn't throw it at her. You know what I'm saying? He broke a glass. Whatever. How
Hey,
is that? You know what I'm saying? Like like if you're gonna film somebody doing something like that, you have plans to take them to court and try to get some money up out of them. But
right.
here's my thing. He lost everything. Um, I just heard that. I just heard that Pirates of the Caribbean is hiring him back. But my question to you and the audience is: do you think he deserves to be in movies again? He was in the court of public opinion, it's 50-50. You know what I'm saying? People were mad at Rihanna for having him on the runway. So in the
Well, that's
court of
correct.
public opinion, it's still like we don't. Some people are saying we don't like him. Me, no, get him in all the movies. He cool with me.
Well, Angel comment is probably like the funniest thing that happened. Was it the maid or cleaning staff? Talking about talking about she shitted in his bed. Man, it's crazy. It's crazy. That's probably like that was probably that and the mega pint was the two things that stood out to me, man. That was the funniest things that went on. Um, so so my answer would be yeah, man, he was found innocent. He was found innocent, and the court of public opinion is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Whether you did it or didn't do it, people already make up their mind. You know what I'm saying? But if you legally was found, innocent or not guilty, I don't even want to say innocent. You was found not guilty. Hey, hey, let hey, get back in those movies. It was crazy though. Just being on trial, Disney dropped him from the Pirates of the Caribbean stuff, which is that's the more crazy thing to me than like getting back into like Mel Gibson getting back into Hollywood after going off on Jews and stuff. We'll talk about that later. You know what I'm saying? That's even more crazy to me is that just being on trial doesn't mean that you're guilty or innocent at that point. But just being on trial, you can potentially lose everything. That's crazy. Crazy.
Crazy.
Angel said, I read Jennifer Gray's book this year, and she talked a lot about Johnny Depp and how passionate of a relationship she had with Johnny. He was the best lover, apparently. Edward Scissorhands was the best lover. All right.
Uh, Willy
Um,
Wonka.
just a weirdo, man. Even like that's why that Pirates of the Caribbean character is so it's so good for him because they're both weirdos. Like I feel like he's just playing himself in the costume. But wearing 18 bracelets, that's just what he do on a normal day. Like just a weird person like that. So
Like that's
um,
why they couldn't find anybody to replace him in Pirates of the Caribbean because he's the only actor that can play that. He's the
yeah,
only. He's really the
he
only
playing
actor that can
himself.
play any of these weird roles.
Yeah,
These weird ass roles that he gets. Literally they wrote the script for him. Like there's not
right.
anyone that can play it. Jim Carrey can't even play some of these wacky characters that he play. And
Yeah.
that's the second wackiest actor.
Call that nigga wacky. That's funny.
Uh,
Call that nigga wacky. That's funny.
just watch Ace
Um,
Ventura, man.
yeah. So it's like I said, it's well, can't nobody play those characters because he just playing himself. He's just a weird old person, so it just fits. Like he's he was Edward Scissorhands his whole life. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just who he was. It's just and it's nothing new to him. Um, all right, let's jump to the next one. Speaking of Mel Gibson going off on Jews, I don't think we touched, not for real, on the Kanye West, um, and to a lesser extent, I guess Kyrie Irving thing. Let's start with Kyrie Irving because I think his thing was completely separated. Um,
Hmm.
it just involved the word Jewish or whatever. Um, so for those of you that don't know, Kyrie Irving tweeted out a video or a link to a movie called From Jews to Negroes or something like that. I forgot the full title of the movie, but just that tweet got that nigga in trouble. Um, to where they like suspended him, and he had to do he had to like meet with Jewish leaders, and they gave him like a list of stuff to do to get back on the team to play basketball. Um, what's your thoughts on Kyrie? Just the Kyrie part.
Well, first of all, I'm gonna start with right now. I just seen him balling. He been balling.
Well, he had a vacation. He had a break, man. He healthy.
He out there playing like Kobe, like he mad. Kobe was going through his situation. Like, go to the court, he dropped 50 on him. But
I buy my own
um,
Jordans.
right. Man, I think most definitely he caught flack because of the Kanye started it, and I most definitely think he caught flack for that. And in the movie, like I haven't watched the movie, but
Mhm.
everything that I read about people who have watched it said that there wasn't anything in the movie besides, besides when they took an old Malcolm X speech that been around forever and put an excerpt in in the movie, and that's what the only thing that referred to that you could say was you know offensive. So
Um,
I don't think Kyrie should have been suspended for any of that. Like, not at all.
um, so I don't think he should have been suspended. You shouldn't be suspended for. All he did was tweet out the movie, the link to a movie. Like, he didn't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? And
Climate was hot. The climate was hot. That's the
yeah,
only
it
thing he
just
didn't
wasn't a
read.
good. Yeah, right. He couldn't read the room apparently. You know what I'm saying? But just tweeting out the link to something, and I get it. You can get some flack like, "Oh man, that movie sucked," or "The movie is racist," or whatever you want to say about whatever link or whatever. So you probably should be more responsible with that. But all he did was tweet out a link. Like, he didn't say nothing. Like, he literally said nothing. So I don't agree that he should have caught any flack for tweeting that out. And I for sure don't think he should have been nigga, that list of stuff that they gave him to do. I want to see if I can pull it up real quick because I I would have been retiring. Like, no way you could have got me to do all this stuff.
But not like even the shoes that he had his own signature line. It's gone.
So what was he
It's
hooping in,
literally
man?
gone.
He was hooping in
He
some
was
like
hooping in Nikes. He was hooping
Adidas or
in
something, or some yeah, something
he was
crazy.
hooping in Nikes. He had about 6 or 7 iterations of his Kyrie signature shoe.
Oh no, I mean like at once he got dropped, like so he been hooping
Oh
in
no!
like just some
Oh
regular
no! He been
shoes or
hoop.
something.
No, he been hooping in the Kyrie threes, but he blacked out the Nike check, and then
That's
it said logo here. And then he wrote logo here over the Nike check.
that's funny. I would that's pretty cool. Just some white tape before every game. I would put logo. That's funny. I like that.
But it's like, why wouldn't
So
he wear the Kyries when they were specifically made for his foot? It's like
no, that's a good point. I agree. Well, when Kobe got dropped, he's like, I'll buy my own Jordans and wear them. I'm like, that's gangster.
he had
That's gangster.
exclusive colors.
Yeah.
That was the era when the fake shoes were like in, and people had color. And he really had real Laker color Jordans.
Laker color, yeah, yeah. Kobe was doing stuff on a whole different level. So this is the list according to some person I don't know how to pronounce their name, Shams something or whatever. Anyway, the list was he had to apologize and condemn the film that he promoted. Right? Um, hey, no, if it's a good movie or whatever, if I love this movie that nobody else loves, then I'm not doing it. He had to make a $500,000 donation to anti hate causes. So his choice of what things, but $500,000. He had to complete sensitivity training, complete anti-Semitism training, meet with the like Jewish leaders, and meet with the owner of the team to demonstrate understanding of the situation. I would have retired. I
I
would
don't
have
know if he did
retired.
that though. Do you think he did all of that?
I don't know. Um,
I don't think
I
he did
don't
all
know,
that, man.
but I would assume. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But as soon as they gave me this list, I would have retired. What do y'all think in the comments? Like, do y'all think that that's a lot to do? Like, do y'all think that's a lot of, like I said, for somebody that didn't even say anything, all he did was tweet out the link to a movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I would have
Yeah, but
retired though. No way.
I think it was all because of Kanye. The day before you had Kanye talking crazy, and then
Man.
Kyrie tweeted what he tweeted, and Kanye posted a picture of Kyrie on his page, like they were like, you know what I'm saying, like on the same
Yeah.
team or something, and it just went off from there. But okay, so Yeezy,
Um. Yeah. Yeah. Boy, that dude's nuts, man. I know we disagree on some parts of this nigga's position, I suppose I say. Um, yeah, that boy wild though. That boy wild. So I don't feel like I had to get no backstory on the Kanye thing. Y'all know.
but
y'all know. Y'all know. Y'all
hey,
y'all know the subject, I guess is what I'm saying.
but I think for sure that he's mad at a lot of people um, who he was in business with, who he felt that was controlling him. Look, ever since he came in the music game, he didn't had these views. He just would suddenly do it, but now can't hold back, man. He can't hold back. Like you had your wife divorcing you. Um, you had Adidas, putting out stuff that you didn't want them to put out, in different colors. Um, you had concerts being canceled. He was just fed up, because and he was talking to certain people, but it's like, man, you don't know how to you don't know how to talk. You don't know how to
That's
talk.
all. That's all I'm
Like
saying.
you don't know how to articulate. Like you smart enough to know that the stuff that you saying is not going to hit well because you being super offensive. Like I could see you in the Nori interview when you were when you had to do say and you say, hey, look, stop drinking Hennessy. That was cool. But all that got over all that got overshadowed because you were just talking crazy. Like like yes, we know that the people who make Hennessy own Louis Vuitton and own many of these luxury brands that black people buy, that black
Mhm.
people only buy. So they they got the market cornered for the black dollar. But he didn't know how to articulate that. He was just saying, the Jews run everything. Uh, I ain't gonna repeat what he said because it's crazy for the on air. But yeah, he didn't. Come on, like, but Hove articulated it very well. But Hove is smart enough not to go on an interview and just be talking because in
Yeah,
the in the
just shut up. Sometimes you
you
gotta
know
shut up, man.
in the interview, with you just talking and not on a mic, it's totally different. You add a beat to the things that you want to say, it just sounds clever, sounds good. You know what I'm saying? You could have it coded where you got to break it down for someone to understand. Kanye just talking crazy. Like he said, Jews own all the property in America. in the song.
Yeah. And everybody's like, oh well, I guess he's right. Like it's not wrong. Like, but that's like, but you can say stuff and just put it in a way where you're not offending nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
And
right.
if you go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, you're exactly right. But then at the same time, most of that album was inspired by how the Jewish community lives with spending money with each other, empowering the community. But he just didn't say that. But if you were Jewish and you was listening to that, you would know exactly what the hell he was talking about. But it
Of
wasn't
course.
offensive because it was like, that's what we do every day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the interview, kind of you're gonna say, "Oh well, I'm just jealous because I want black people to do the same thing." But people ain't hear that because you was talking
But that's
crazy.
you talking too crazy. Yeah. And like I said, it's not about Ebony J. You came in on the right time. We're talking about Kanye, your favorite person. Um, so like I said, it's not that I um, don't feel like been he's black. Like I'm sure he's been discriminated against. I'm sure he has certain views and perspectives as a black person that's in rooms, with money or whatever that I ain't never seen or anything like that. So I'm sure he has a perspective and stuff. Like I get it. You know what I'm saying? But it's a way to, to say stuff, you know what I'm saying? And that's not about being controlled. That's about controlling yourself, you know what I'm saying? Being able to say stuff in a way in which you're not offending people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care what you say, you know what I'm saying? Like, I said that 1,000 times. Like, if you want to make, fat jokes or black jokes about me, like, I don't, that's funny to me. As long as it's funny. Like, if it's not funny, then it becomes offensive. Like, then we got an issue. You know what I'm saying? You want to make a joke, that's fine. But it better be funny. You know what I'm saying? So, that's where it started from with me, I suppose. Um, then cuz just kept going though. Like so that was like early, but now you get on the Hitler situation. And look, and if you are going to be speaking for yourself, or you want to speak in that type of a freedom or whatever, at least do it on your own platform so you can control, the way the information gets out. You know what I'm saying? So you can control everything. At least do that. You got enough money and resources to be able to do that. But if you don't even do that, then you're not even thinking. Like that's all I'm saying. Is like I feel like he's just not thinking about anything. He's just doing whatever comes to his mind. Like the Hitler stuff is crazy to me. And I look. I love the fact that J.C. Owens shitted on Germany. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? While Hitler was there, like in Germany, like shitted on him. Like I love it. You know what I'm saying? I'll say stuff like I like this particular thing about Hitler in terms of like his war strategy or whatever, right? Like that's a specific thing. And not like as a person, I mean he was misunderstood, this and this. Like, no, nigga, this is Hitler. And this don't have nothing to do with the Holocaust. It's just this nigga, his entire body of work, his entire body of his life. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like his war strategy was great. If I was going to war, I would have something very similar. You know what I'm saying? This nigga was like, man, I just love Hitler. Hitler made the freeway, which is not true. Hitler made the microphone, which is also not true. Like just, and he's wrong. Like just saying stuff, man. Like I don't understand. You know how long the Autobahn been around? He's talking about Hitler made the freeway. You know how long the Autobahn been around? Nigga, Hitler wasn't even thought of. Like, you know what I'm saying? He just wrong. He's wrong.
But hey, all right. So how do you feel when he said on the Alex Jones shit when he said that what he said he said Nazis are good people too.
Like, are they?
All right, but okay. When he said that, and I was thinking about it. Okay, well, what if you were made to go to war and you didn't want to go to war? You're a Nazi because you fighting on that side, but you didn't want to go to war though. You were made to.
You think everybody in Germany during like World War I and II were Nazis?
What?
during World War II, right when the Nazi Party was in power, like you think everybody in Germany was like, I'm a
No, but
Nazi.
no, but I'm saying the Nazi Party told these people that they had to go to war. So I'm
Right,
saying these people that went to war, some of these people that went to war and came to America after were arrested on war crimes, right?
right.
So I'm saying to you, if they were made to do that, are they bad people or
Well,
were
I
they put in a
mean,
predicament where I mean they had to do some of that, you know.
uh,
I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just, posing
I, it depends, man. Because how many people left Germany like when Hitler took over? Like, I don't want to be a part of this. Like, think about how many, like, just all other countries. Like, when you get like a radical regime last year, right? And when I was still doing politics, and they like when America left and they let the Taliban come back and take over. Uh, nigga, like you see how many people was on like the airfield? Like, we got to get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to be a part of it. We got to get out of here. So, and I'm not saying that everybody has the option to leave or whatever, but I am saying that um, yeah, probably the ones that stayed probably wasn't great people. But in war, I get what you're saying though. In war, if you join the U.S. Army and you go to if you're Muhammad Ali, you don't want to go to Vietnam because you don't feel like a personal attachment. Does that make Muhammad Ali a bad person because he don't want to fight for a country? Or does that, or the reverse would be somebody that joined to fight for the country? You know what I'm saying? Uh, for something that maybe they didn't believe in, but they felt like it was the right thing to do for their country. I get what you're saying. I don't know. It, if you're a random soldier, if you're a private, you might not be a bad person. But if you're a higher up, you're probably a bad person.
it.
If you're a general, you know what I'm saying? If you somewhere higher up, you're probably a bad person. I'm just gonna put that out there, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, but but on the flip side, to bring it to now, there's people over in Afghanistan and Iraq that think that the American soldiers are devils. You know what I mean?
Right. Are they really? Or just somebody that's in the White House like, hey, y'all going over there to do this because I said so.
Right. Like we seen a
You know.
drone, kill my whole family and they weren't even doing anything. Now they
Right.
hate America.
Exactly.
I'm just posing shit. Like I don't have no views. I'm just talking. I got to put that out there because,
Well,
well, you look, you support Nazis.
that's,
Wow.
that's what I heard. So let me add this before we move on to the next topic. Um, so with this Jewish, I don't know, I think it was like an A&R dude. I forgot. He's like a popular
Lear
Jewish.
Cohen.
It probably was on the Breakfast Club.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
That interview. So he said something in terms of, or I think Charlemagne had asked him, um, and this could be a whole nother topic by the way, but why do you sign artists that rap about killing each other and violence and all of this stuff? You know what I'm saying? Instead of like the more uplifting stuff, and you're like, hey, that's what they want to talk about, so we let them talk about it or whatever.
Hmm.
And
All right.
he kind of broke it down or whatever. So whether you agree or disagree with that, he did say something towards maybe like the middle, it might have been maybe like closer to the end, where he said, uh, like if black people really, this was a different Jewish guy, I think, but I remember that interview, and it bumped me to this other video. But he was saying, like, if black people really felt the way, like felt some type of way, um, then do something about it. You know what I'm saying? Like Kanye was saying that he want black people to be you know black sustained or whatever, which is good. That's a great sentiment. We talked about this years ago about black sustainability and having all these having we had like a month or something, right? It might have been a week where we tried to do only black owned businesses or whatever. Like we did this a couple of years ago, but it's almost impossible or whatever. But so the Jewish guy was saying, he's like, if these rich black people actually cared, right? Why are they not pooling money together to make these black owned businesses? So not just like a business, but like these black owned institutions or whatever. He said what Jewish people do will give a loan to another Jewish person, interest-free loan for them to start their business and completely set their family up or whatever. They pay the loan back, without interest, so they're not like killing themselves by going to a bank or whatever. Everything is internal. The money comes back to us, and then we can loan that money back out to another family or whatever, and it grows and builds the community. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's a fucking great point. Like if these rich black people cared as much as they say they do, and I'm not talking about no celebrities in particular or whatever, but you can't tell me it's not enough black millionaires and billionaires to have some sort of a pool of money. Every year they're going to allocate X amount of dollars, to give to black people, or the loan, where you make your money back, so they can have a black-owned hospital or a black-owned school, or whatever the case is. That they actually care, because Jewish people, in the same way, they gave the blueprint. We do all this stuff internally. So y'all want the same thing to build up the neighborhood, do it all internally.
Hey, that's I remember J.R. Smith was talking, and he was saying like, he was saying they're in a bubble, and he said like, why can't we put all our money together and build like a complex where everybody can go play and stuff. And it's not like they don't have the money. Like we know exactly how much money they make a year.
Absolutely.
And why can't the top players they can make their own league if they wanted to?
They can do whatever they want to do, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and football is the only one where they're making tons of money, like, but it ain't guaranteed, right? Except for unless you a guy that's lower on our list to talk about. But besides that, nothing is guaranteed in the NFL. Baseball, and I know there ain't a ton of black people playing baseball, but baseball, basketball, those are guaranteed contracts. You're gonna get taxed on it, but you're gonna get every penny of that contract money. You're gonna get every single penny. So you already know what you can and can't allocate. You know what I'm saying? What you can and can't put aside. And it's a donation, or y'all start a fund, you get the money back. Like, so in tax, something like tax breaks. So it's not like you losing money and then you building up the community if you really felt that way. J.R. Smith, you're right. I forgot about that J.R. Smith interview, but he said it first. And the Jewish guy like, hey, if y'all really felt that way, then do it internally.
Exactly.
Like think about an interest-free loan, right? Let's say you bought a house a couple years ago, because you definitely can't do it now. Let's say you bought a house for $50,000, right? And by the time you pay it back, let's say 30-year mortgage or so, you'd be looking at, depending on the rates or whatever, let's say anywhere from, let's say 80 to 90,000 is what you're paying back, right?
Refunding.
So let's say you just imagine if I get that loan interest free, you know what I'm saying? So I'm saving, $40,000 that I can use towards my next property or whatever the case is. On top of the fact that I'm paying that loan back to, let's just say LeBron James. He's a local guy. I almost said Steve Harvey, but that won't happen. Let's say I get the money back to LeBron James. Now he can take that same $50K that I paid back over the course of however many years and give it to the next person, the next 22-year-old that's out of college and, got a good job and, just looking for his first house or whatever the case is. Like, and then it just builds up everybody in the community. So if they really cared, that's all I'm saying. If they really cared, then they could fucking do something.
About $1 million houses.
That's what, man. But we talked about this 1,000 times on the show as far as like black people trusting each other. I think just because you have money, you don't discount that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just hard to trust black people, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a black person.
That is centuries. And I say, when I say centuries, I say 1600s, 1700s.
Yeah.
It has been instilled in the black race that we can't trust each other.
Because you got the house Negroes telling on the field Negroes that's trying to escape or whatever. Like, it's just constantly, you can't trust them.
If you have, we're moving on.
We gotta move on. All right, let's talk about Brittany Griner, fresh home, WNBA basketball player who was caught with liquid weed or a small amount of marijuana or something like that in Russia, and she went to jail, and they sentenced her to 9 years. 9 years in Russian prison. A couple months ago, and she recently, like
just since March, though.
Yeah, she's been in there, right? But she got sentenced to 9 years a couple months ago, and she literally just came home this week with a prisoner trade with Russia. Thoughts?
Thoughts. All right. Well, I knew she was a delusional type individual.
Hilarious.
When she said that she would, she could beat DeMarcus Cousins one-on-one. So, so for her to go over to Russia, okay, she got her vape pen in, cool. But then you won't leave it. You're going back to America, and it ain't like you can re-up when you get back. Like, you go to the dispensary, send your friends, send your wife, she can go get it, and you'll be cool. But you decided to hop back on the plane and travel with it internationally. Like, you wasn't, like, it's a war going on outside. You're a U.S. citizen. Russia hates U.S. citizens.
Yeah.
They got you. If you did the crime, you got to do the time. Period.
Do the time.
Period. You know what was up. I think the trade was horrible. Like, I mean,
it's a terrible trade.
I understand. That the negotiations were to get her and that Marine that's over there, but Russia wasn't having it, and I guess it was a lot of pressure. To get her out. So I guess Biden said, "Well, we'll get somebody, I guess." But
Angel said, "I'm glad she's home. She was foolish to take it over there, but she didn't deserve that crazy sentence." I gotta disagree with you.
I mean, look,
I gotta disagree with you.
In certain countries, if you you can't have drugs, you can't even drink, at all. You can't hold hands at all. You can't spit on the ground. That's the law. That is their law. Like, you literally you can't even spit on the ground at a federally owned, like on a and this is U.S. like a what is it, like a VA? I don't know. I know it's like some type of federal government bill. You can't spit on the ground. If you do, you get in time. Because I was reading an article when somebody like threw a rock in the Grand Canyon or something, and they, that's a federal offense. But they was talking about
Fuck the Grand Canyon.
They said it like if you spit on the ground on like some federal land, like that's federal offense. So
it's crazy.
It's a stupid law, but hey, you gotta.
It's a law, though.
Regardless. You know what I'm saying? Right. Nothing you can do about it, no matter your feelings. But yeah, man, that's on her. But she's home now. That's cool.
I mean, they the thing I seen right before we came on was just the first WNBA trade to ever make the headlines. I died laughing. That's one of the funniest things ever. I agree, Angel, that she didn't deserve the crazy sentence. Like, 9 years sounds crazy. It is crazy. But like Byron said, the law is the law. And if you were lucky enough to get it over there, now you're coming back to America, just leave it. Just leave it. Just leave it. Like, why even take the chance? Why take the risk? Like, just leave it, man. Weed is so available here in this country. Why would you even take the risk? I wouldn't have took the risk of taking it over there, but fine. And you somehow got it through, man. And you black. Like, what are you doing? Like, so I think, so I agree. It's a horrible trade. They keep calling dude John Wick because he's like a international arms dealer. Um, they said they caught him on, it was like a 5 country thing, like all working together to catch this 5 countries to catch this dude working together, and they traded him for a basketball player that can't beat
Right.
DeMarcus Cousins. Like, it's crazy.
Right. What
It's
she
crazy.
wasn't a
So,
spy, nothing.
nigga, for a basketball player, like, look, if we was over there, Brittany Griner would sleep very well at night. That's all I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying? Like, wouldn't be thinking twice. I think,
Explain, expand on that. What you
nigga, she
mean?
don't care. Why would we care about Brittany Griner when she
Oh,
wouldn't care if we was over there? That's what I mean. Like, she'll sleep peaceful at night at home uh, if I was there or if you was there. You know what I'm saying?
oh,
Like she wouldn't care. Is what I mean. Yeah, because she's not, nigga. She's not. They didn't capture Colin Powell. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody that actually matter, like in the for the country. Like, is she a basketball player? You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like, that's it. Like, that's it. She's just a basketball player. So I think the sentence was harsh. The law is a law, and I damn sure not trading John Wick, nigga, for a female back. Dude, and let me be clear. This is not slander on the WNBA. If it was LeBron James over there for a basketball player, you gotta leave that nigga, man. I'm sorry. I'm
I
sorry.
don't know. They're gonna try to get LeBron out.
Oh no, no, I know that they will, but I'm saying I would be fine. Like, hey, he broke the law. He broke the law,
Look,
and
Trump
I'm
got
not
rappers out.
trading.
Trump got rappers and basketball play when one of the ball boys got caught over there in China for stealing something.
For sure, for sure. Right. So I'm not. Yeah, but that wasn't a trade though. You know what I'm saying? We talk about a 1-for-1 trade. Nigga, 1-for-1 trades almost never happen on any level. And when they do, somebody wins substantially every single time. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody gets the better of the trade.
And they won.
So and they
And they going
won.
through a war. He gonna get some. He gonna get some big guns. He
They about
he
to get
gonna
some
fire.
guns across, man. What Pusha T say? Like the day I retire, got an asterisk. And it still got an asterisk on the books. Like all I gotta do is make a phone call. So yeah, horrible trade. Uh, no way I'm making that trade. Not a chance. All right, next thing. Ukraine. Let's talk about Ukraine because we ain't talked about it, but since you spoke on the war, um,
Man, it's crazy. I'm gonna say this. I never really, people think of war, all they fighting, people dying, whatever. But nigga, I was on Reddit and I seen
the
actual
raw footage.
footage.
Yeah,
I couldn't do it. It's
yeah.
crazy over there. It's really like war has evolved from, your standard World War I movies, with Tom Hanks and all that. War now is much more technology, makes more technology involved to make sure that they killing you. That's all I'm gonna say. If you want to look at it, it's cool. You can go already watch it. I don't suggest it though.
Yeah, I was super into it when it first kind of kicked off. Um, not only into like in a good way, but like because potentially that could have ramifications for here in America or whatever. Um, so paying heavy attention to it. And I still check in on it from time to time for sure, um, but yeah, you're right. The raw footage, the fact that everybody got cell phones now, unlike World War II and Vietnam and all that stuff, where like so you only see stuff from like movies or from propaganda footage or whatever. But with now everybody having well, now everybody having a cell phone, you can get like raw footage of buildings being destroyed and people being destroyed by missiles and all type of crazy stuff. So like Byron said, I don't recommend looking at it. But if you want that raw footage, then you can absolutely find it online.
Don't do it.
Yeah, it's not it's not advisable, man, not at all. But I know it's just now that it's wintertime, that brings another layer to like the war over there. With my last check in was like Russia was kind of like in charge of had took over like some of their like electricity generators or whatever. So like part of the country don't have power, and the part that do have power, they running like drills and getting like propane tanks set up or some type of gas tanks or whatever to use for like heating and fuel and stuff for the winter. Because I guess that's Russia's plan, is to try to starve them out throughout the winter and make it that much more difficult. They had a couple months ago, man. It was like a unclaimed strike on like a Russian bridge that connects Russia and Ukraine. Like a crazy explosion early in the morning that knocked out like a good portion of the bridge or whatever, made it like unpassable. And then like in return, Russia launched a missile to like a pedestrian bridge, but they missed or whatever. Like so people was making jokes about that or whatever. But yeah, man, I don't know if it's joke worthy, but it's definitely crazy, a crazy situation going on. To be able to watch war kind of firsthand like that is just kind of crazy. So it's a crazy, surreal type thing, and makes me a little more grateful to be on this island. I know technically America's not an island, but it really is. Like to get anything across, like we have hella time. If it's a missile coming, unless it's coming from Canada or Mexico, you know what I'm saying? We got hella time to prepare for anything coming from Russia, parts of America at least.
In theory.
Well, I said parts of it, because if Russia want to bomb Alaska, they probably get that across.
If they send 100, if they send 100 nukes, you think we'd be able to shoot down all 100?
No, I don't think they had the technology to shoot off 100 nukes at the same time. I don't think that's a thing.
I mean, they got the those air to surface situations at the border where it'll automatically do it if a missile is detected. But I'm saying 100 all at the hang. You don't get all of them.
I don't think nobody can. I don't think we can launch 100 nukes at the same time. I don't think it's possible.
And even if they explode in the air, like it got to be some type of collateral damage.
Oh, for sure, no question about that. But yeah, I just think the Ukraine thing is kind of crazy. It's one of the first wars where we can kind of get a close up glimpse of the everyday people that still is there on the ground. It's something kind of rare to this generation, or just us, the people that's living now, so to see that type of raw footage is kind of very intriguing. Something.
Yeah, just like the video where a dude was at the park chilling with his girl and a missile hit right by the park and dude ran and jumped in the water.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, forget them kids.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I can't imagine. I can't even imagine what they're going through.
Let me see. All right, next. So in a little bit more uplifting news, NASA this year, NASA launched the very first Earth defense mission. I think it was codenamed DART. NASA took a rocket and crashed it into an asteroid. By the way, it didn't destroy the asteroid, but it knocked it off the course. So not that the Earth was in any danger, but this is just like a test run to see if something like that could work, and apparently it can. But it was it's crazy. The asteroid that they hit, I think they said it was like 800 feet in diameter. I think they said it was moving at, or the shit was moving at like 14,000 miles per hour, which is fucking crazy. But yeah, man, doesn't that make you feel good? You know, the space forces out here smacking asteroids with rockets.
Yeah. After watching that movie on Netflix, what? No, what? Don't look up.
Don't look up. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
Makes
that
me,
was yeah.
makes me feel better. I wasn't even aware of that until you told me. But hey, yeah, that's good. That's good news.
Man. Yeah, it was so just to see if something like that could work, just to just change its course, right? To throw it off enough to the point where it wouldn't hit Earth or whatever. Like I said, not that this one was anywhere near us or whatever, but um, to be able to test something, to be able to do something like this in case there is something coming near us, um, that's pretty cool. Um, uh, that's funny. It's funny that you brought that movie up. That you brought Don't Look Up because so this week I found this website that lets you play with some of these things, lets you play with some of these ideals. So this is a map of Cleveland, northern Ohio, I'll say. Um, I got the I got the asteroid lined up, 800 feet, moving at 14,000 feet. Impact angle of 40. Let's say 90. Let's put it all the way up to a 90-degree and hit right on Cleveland. Maybe a little. Let's say in between me and you. So that'd be like Cleveland, Cleveland Heights or whatever. But for those of you that think that asteroids are not much we should be worried about, let's just see what happens. Just going to launch it here, and well, I didn't want to super zoom. Hold on. So I don't know where the thing is. I don't know where the launcher is, but hold on. Let's see.
This suspense is killing me, man.
Man, look. This is how technology works all the time. Like as soon as you're ready for it to do something, it never does. Let's say, yeah, I don't understand. It literally worked this entire time. Look, this is what technology do for you. All right, don't blame me. I'm gonna try it again. Um, but yeah, so this website, it's neo.fun slash asteroid launcher. It actually lets you select a play. Well, in theory, let me say that in theory, you're supposed to be able to pick a location and launch an asteroid, and then it gives you a bunch of different information as far as um, the number of people that would be like vaporized or whatever, the how big the crater would be, um, uh, how many tons of TNT that would be, um, uh, all the collateral damage. It tells you how much uh, how much what do you call it? How much energy would be released, and how your clothes would be burned up if you live X amount of miles away. Like all this information, and so it kind of make that movie Don't Look Up. Um, kind of makes it interesting. I'm not gonna lie. As like a thing that could happen, I suppose. If an
Nothing you can
asteroid was
do
actually
about it.
to hit the planet.
It's over for you.
Oh, it's definitely over for you. It's over for all of us. But that, like the last scene where there was eating food or whatever, having their last dinner, like they kind of put it more into perspective. And I don't remember what they were saying that like the size of that asteroid was or whatever on the show, but it definitely was obliterated everything. You know what I'm saying? Like completely killed everything. So I don't know, man. I can't get this thing to work. It sucks. So maybe you shouldn't go on there. Maybe everybody's on there, and that's why it won't work for us. But yeah, like I said, it just gave you a bunch of information. How many people would be killed? Like I said, immediately, and it was like so. When I did it before, it was like so you know how Mansfield is like 77 miles away. Like people in Mansfield, clothes would be on fire. You know what I'm saying? Like if it hit in downtown Cleveland, that's how big the radius would be. Just literally just insane the amount of damage that it could do. But hey, we got NASA. NASA's doing their thing. They're deflecting. Actually, I'll put it on Brown Stadium and see what happens. But yeah, NASA's out over here, and they
Brown Stadium.
knocking stuff out of the air for us. And shout out to NASA. I wish this thing would work, man. It's super cool. Yeah, I don't know if it's actually Space Force, but
that's what the show called.
Yeah, I don't. You don't need a Space Force when you already have a group to do that.
It's aliens.
Yeah, right, for sure. Aliens.
Trump said it. Trump said it was aliens. Must be aliens.
Must be aliens. You're right. I can't go wrong with that. Anyway, I'll try to see if I can pull it up, or if you guys want to go, you can check it out or whatever. It's 1:00, so we literally got one last thing. Deshaun Watson, before we get out of here.
That's my dog.
All right, Deshaun Watson playing for the Cleveland Browns here in a moment. Thoughts on his suspension, thoughts on his case, thoughts on his play.
Play, trash. But I seen flashes. I seen what Brissett couldn't do, which is get out the pocket and try to make a play. That's what we were lacking. But overall, his performance was trash. His case, I can't say that I studied every moment of his case because I'm like, dude was just trying to. I don't know if that was harassment. If you tell somebody to, hey, I want you to come out, give me a massage, and they give you a massage with a fucking bikini on, and
What's gonna happen?
You know what I'm saying? All he did was ask. So,
right.
Whatever. It wasn't. No crime was committed. Suspension, also trash compared to, other people that did similar things. Dan Snyder, who owns the Washington Commanders or Washington football team, whatever you want to call them. They would have Jeans Day, and the lady walked by. He made her turn around so he could look at her jeans.
Why you say it like that, man?
I'm just saying that's what happened. He turned around so he could look at your jeans on Jean Day. That's that he made all of the ladies that work there doing that. That's a crazy place to work at.
Boy, imagine having that much power. It's crazy.
And then you got Robert Kraft, who on audio, on phone calls, and video got caught. The first time he did not know that this was going to happen after it just happened. He was happy about it. He was so happy about it that he went back for a second time.
Hey.
After the second time, he got pulled over in traffic stop. Cops brought him in and told him, like, look, we caught you on audio and video. You know what I'm saying? What's up? Didn't even get suspended at all.
Nothing.
Right. You know, and saying he could have faced charges for that. They just said, you know what, we'll just let you go. A man that now you got Deshaun Watson. They told this man, hey, we don't find anything, we don't see anything guilty, you know, of a crime. You know what I'm saying? But civil is different. So I guess in the civil, you know, like, you can't tell me no man on earth like tried to talk to a girl and got denied. Nigga, every man on earth like, shot his shot and missed.
Yeah.
Period. He just he's a volume shooter. I respect it. So what are your thoughts? Yeah, I'm trying. You know, I want to hear what your thoughts are.
So I just think that so as far as the play on the field, like you said, as far as trash goes, it was pretty good. You know, he had the one bad turnover, but that was it. But typically, when people are rusty, they always throw the ball high, which means more interceptions. But he didn't do that. You know, he threw them low, so it was either like his guy catch it or he was going to dirt, which I'm kind of okay with. As far as the suspension, that's a bit much, man, for somebody who you know didn't get charged with a crime or whatever. He was just you know, like a conduct type of a thing. That's a long, 10, 11 weeks or whatever. That's a long time, I think.
But you already been play a year.
Yeah, after you already sat out a year. Yeah, that's crazy. As far as the case though, look, I can sum it up like this: it's no. Andrew said they were too hard on him. Again, the world we live in, his image, for sure. Right. So now it looks like, the NFL came down hard on him. That's what it looks like. But I think as far as the case, dude, there's nothing wrong with being a creep. Well, sorry, it's nothing illegal about being a creep. It's just not. It's frowned upon, you know what I'm saying? As it should be, but it's not illegal. You know what I'm saying? It's not illegal to be a creep. Yeah, that's it. It's not illegal. He was found not guilty or not at fault or whatever the terminology is, where he was found not guilty of criminal things.
So he was guilty in the court of public opinion.
Exactly, which is crazy. Which means he'll be guilty forever, even if he didn't do stuff. And when the stuff that he did was just him being a creep. Like never did they say rape. He didn't rape anybody. He didn't force himself. He didn't kidnap nobody. But just guilty of being a creep, man. And that's not illegal. That's all I'm saying. It's not illegal to be a creep. Not illegal. But I know he better win this game against Cincinnati. I do know that. So,
hey, we don't lose against them.
That's what I'm saying. If we lose against Cincinnati, then it might be illegal to be a creep. Maybe I'm gonna change my entire stance. Maybe.
He probably thought a touchdown right now. So look.
Yeah. So we about to find out. All right, man. So thanks for joining us. Quick show. My mother already left because she got to go watch football, watch the Steelers lose, which is I don't know why you want to watch that, but whatever. You guys be safe. Have a great week. We'll be back next week, next Sunday at our normal time, probably to wrap up 2022, and that'll be it. So we're gonna wrap up the year next week. If y'all got anything to add, for sure. Send us an email, send us a message, join us, let us know anything you want to wrap up in a year or talk about, as we do our goals for the following year. How do we do our goals this year, resolutions, all that stuff be next week. So that being said, we appreciate y'all joining us as always
And
throughout
remember
the
that on your
entire
own.
year. My man said, on your own. Salute to the city as always. And y'all stay safe out there. And if your mom was here, she would say, go Browns. So go Browns. All right. We'll see y'all next week for the wrap up. Be safe.
Remember to own your own.
And salute to the city as always.
Remember to own your own.
Salute to the city as always.
And remember to own your own.
And salute to the city as always.
Remember to own your own. We'll see y'all next week. Remember to own your own. It's very important, like I say every show.
Salute to the city as always. Salute to the city.
Remember to own your own. Now,
as always, salute to the city.